Welcome to this presentation on model publishing. Communicate your ideas using the sophisticated and flexible documentation engine that allows you to create and disseminate high-quality and fully customizable publications and reports. These are generated directly from the model in a document or web page format. You develop and review the models collaboratively. You can share the models and publications with customers and a range of other disciplines, from executives, managers, architects, developers, testers, support analysts, and more. In this presentation, we will cover the following topics. View the flexible and feature-rich publishing facilities. Generate polished publications and reports. Cherry-pick content with custom and virtual documents. View extended publishing features. Instantly reach your audience with web publishing. View the flexible and feature-rich publishing facilities. In this topic, you will see how to get an overview of the rich set of tool features for publishing models to a comprehensive list of targets. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including delight audiences with documents and web publications. Publish packages in multiple formats. Publish models your way with templates. Get reuse with diagram and model wizard patterns. And more. Generate high-quality corporate documents directly from the model. Use a range of document generation techniques with flexible system or user-defined templates, filters, and presentation options. Completely customize your publications to comply with industry, corporate, or customer standards, including styles and logos. Add static and dynamic content, and auto-regenerate the document when the model changes. Generate publications in formats such as docx, HTML, PDF, and more. Create publications in a format and presentation style that will delight your audience. The digital age has ushered in the need and expectation that information will be viewed digitally and in real time. Enterprise Architect's Cloud Server provides 3 tools to present real-time views of your models through a browser. Models can also be generated for static websites and Joomla. There are however circumstances such as contractual obligations or project requirements, where customers need document-based publications. Enterprise Architect has a flexible set of tools that allow you to create highly polished documents in docx, PDF or RTF formats. You can use system and user-defined templates to style and embellish the publications, and set a wide range of generation options to further customize the content and style of the finished document. Select Publishing and Model Exchange options from the Publish ribbon. Choose options to publish content using the fully featured report builder or enjoy the flexibility of a custom document. Define document and model templates and import your corporate logo and styles, including fonts and colors. Craft document sections with selected repository elements, features, connectors, and project content. Instantly save diagrams to the clipboard or a file in raster or vector formats. Import and export model content to various standards-based formats, including CSV, XML, Native, ArcGIS, BPMN, and more. Give customers and colleagues a browser-based view of your repository by publishing your models to the web with the HTML reports facility. The generator creates a static website with a tree view control that emulates the browser in Enterprise Architect, creating a familiar portal for users to explore the models. Navigation cells and element hyperlinks are honored in the website, making it easy for users to browse and navigate the model content. You can export either an entire model or just a single branch of the browser tree. If a dynamic view is required, a team can use WebEA or Prolaborate to ensure users get a real-time view of the content. Enterprise Architect provides a facility for publishing model content as articles, rendered as HTML pages in Joomla. As you develop your model, you can publish it in your local Joomla repository, where the outline structure closely mirrors the model hierarchy, making it easy to explore models online. You can publish either an entire model, or a single branch, and view the results in the local repository. When you and the team are satisfied with the content, this local repository can then be easily transferred to a live Joomla server. Publish your packages in multiple formats using Enterprise Architect's flexible and standards-based export facility. These allow models to be exchanged between Enterprise Architect repositories and also imported into other standards-compliant tools. The formats include UML metadata interchange, business process model and notation, ArcGIS, eCore, XPDL, and more. You can set options to export diagrams and alternate images and exclude Enterprise Architect proprietary extensions. The ability to import the contents of exported files into other tools depends on the limitation of the standards, and also the other tool's compliance with the standard. Linked document templates contain styles, formatting, and static text similar to the templates you use in your favorite word processor. Effectively, they set the backdrop for the document you will create, and can contain styles and static content such as a title page, sign-off and executive summary sections, and other content. The dynamic content you add from the repository will typically be injected between the static sections, and rendered using a system or user-defined template. When you create a document generation template, you are defining a blueprint that specifies the content types, formatting, and styles of a publication. The template can then be used with any number of packages. For example, you may define a requirements template and reuse it across several projects. You can cherry-pick which types of items, elements, and connectors you want to be included in the report, and set styles and formatting options for specific types of content. For instance, you may want to report on data entities and include the name, alias, and notes, and for each entity, include the attributes in a table with their details in columns. Generate helpful system-defined reports without the need to specify templates, and get insights into your repository content, including testing and maintenance reports. The testing reports extract the test details and scripts for all elements that have test items defined. The dependency report shows all elements that rely on other model elements, helping you understand model connections. The diagram report is handy as it prints all the diagrams in the selected package. Visualizing elements that have allocated resources is made easy with the resource report. You can also create any number of your own reports and specify content and styles with user-defined templates and generation options. Publish diagram patterns and enjoy reuse and consistency, saving time and effort at model and review time. You can add any number of patterns and organize them into groups. The patterns may be time-saving models or well-worked solutions to complex modeling problems, thus reducing the chance of error or misunderstanding. Experienced modelers typically create the patterns by distilling abstract solutions from concrete examples. Less experienced or novice modelers then inject the diagram patterns into their own modeling context. Add rigor to your team's modeling discipline by enshrining model content and structures into a model wizard pattern. Define model content, including packages, elements, connectors, and diagrams, and allow your users to inject this content into their production models. This could be packaged content such as the structure for new projects or an organization-specific diagram. You can add guidance information by creating a wizard pattern document containing helpful hyperlinks. Generate polished publications and reports. In this topic, you will see how to create sophisticated and user-defined reports, using templates and generation options. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including: generate polished corporate publications, customize publications with generation options, spell check packages or an entire project, get instant results by leveraging system templates, and more. Generate professional and polished corporate publications using your organization's styles, templates and logos. You can select any package in the project browser, and using a system or user-defined template, craft exactly how you want the document structured. You can also set a range of options to further customize the content. For example, you may include a general overview of your business capabilities, then a diagram for each high-level capability. Below this, you could add a table of the child capabilities, including system properties like status or profiled attributes like strategic importance or capability type. Define your generation options and get full control over how the document is generated and output. You can specify, for example, where the document file is written, and what format it is generated in, what natural language is used for the text, what elements are included in the document, and the diagram theme to use. You can also set a style sheet to override the styles set in the template, and select a table of contents and cover page for the publication. These can be reused when generating other publications, creating a consistent style for your team, project or organization's documentation. Completely customize your publication generation by setting a cover page, inserting a table of contents, and applying a style sheet. Take control of the output by setting a range of options, including selecting a system or user-defined template. You can set the item order based on the creation or modified date. You can also set several filters to omit selected sections, exclude elements, connectors, and diagram types, and only include elements with particular properties. You can define word substitutions and include project constants, to make your publications more accessible to your stakeholders. Take control of your publication or report by setting a wide range of document generation options, including the format of the published diagrams from raster or vector-based. Specify the order of packages, elements, and diagrams in the published document. Set filters to exclude elements based on the latest modification date, package phase, or connector direction. Choose from a collection of handy options that will give you almost complete control over the generated publication, such as excluding elements without detailed descriptions. Less is more with item exclusions. Control what type of elements, connectors, and diagrams are included in the generated publication by selecting the types to exclude. You can omit specific objects based on their properties using both the element and other filters. The filters allow you to focus the published output on the important types of items. For example, the publication could be for a business audience, so a report designer might want to exclude more technical elements such as communication paths and delegate connectors. Spell check a single package, including its child packages, or check the entire project. You can specify the repository items you want to be checked, including objects and their features and constraints, connectors, diagrams, glossaries, and a range of other items. Each incorrect word will be displayed, with a list of suggested spellings, allowing you to change the word, or alternatively add it to the dictionary. Spell check your model content in your natural language, ensuring it is publication ready. Enterprise Architect comes with 3 installed English language dictionaries, but you can download, install and use dictionaries in more than 10 other languages. Enterprise Architect is truly a global software solution and is used in more than 100 countries, many of which use a language other than English for communication. Specify your spelling options and configure how the spell checker will process model text. You can set options to ignore specific types of text. This means that when the spell checker comes across text that conforms to the option, it will skip over this text and will not report it as a spelling error. For example, there is an option to ignore words that contain numerals like Win32. There are also options for doubled words, case-sensitive text, suggestions for phonetically and typographically similar words, and options to report on splitting words when a space has been missed. Generate instant publications and reports with system templates. Simply select a package in the browser that contains the data you wish to publish, then choose one of the document generator's system templates, including a glossary, audit, data modeling, project issues, or requirements template. Get off to a flying start by making a copy of any of the system templates, and then add, change, or delete template instructions to create your own user-defined version of the original. Translate element, connector, attribute, and operation descriptions from your local natural language like German into any one or more of over 100 natural languages, including Albanian, Arabic, Azerbaijani, Chinese, Czech, Danish, Greek, Swedish, Thai, and Zulu. You can translate the model text manually, or once an administrator has configured a translation service, you can use the automatic translation facility. You use the built-in glossary to define terms, such as industry standard names, that you don't want to be translated. Alternatively, you can specify terms where you want to use a specific user-defined translation, for example, a user-defined name or an idiomatic expression. Cherry-pick content with custom and virtual documents. In this topic, you will see how to expedite the publication of corporate documentation and reports and select content with drag and drop. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including: design your publication with drag and drop, configure document generation templates, cherry-pick packages with virtual documents, spice up publications with charts and graphs, and more. Create elegant and rich publications and reports by dragging content from the browser onto an open document. Refresh the publication as items are added to the custom document, or your models are changed. You can also add static content, interleaving it between the dynamic and boilerplate text. When you drag packages and diagrams from the browser, you can specify a suitable template that prescribes how that part of the content will be rendered. A modeler can quickly create highly polished corporate documents that can be refreshed as the model changes, and the templates can be reused with any number of other publications and reports. Configure document generation templates to define the instructions for generating content when it is dynamically inserted into a document. You can add sections and details inserted for each item, including elements, features, connectors, diagrams, and model information such as issues, glossaries, and tasks. The text with yellow background defines the sections, and for each section, a context menu displays the properties of the item that can be inserted when the document is generated. You can import your corporate document styles, insert tables, images, bookmarks, headers and footers, and a table of contents. You can also format the document as though you were in your favorite word processor. Design and model your publications using the Virtual Documents facility. Create publications as master documents, and then add any number of model documents, selecting a template for each document. The template will specify content structure and styles for each of the included packages. You can create any number of master documents, including business cases, concepts of operation, system architecture documents, and more. The publications can be generated directly from the master document, which itself will have a template defined. Cherry-pick the packages you want to include in your publications, to craft your own reports, documents, and publications. A master document is comprised of any number of model documents that group package content by style. The model documents you define represent the sections of your publication, and you specify a template for each. You are then free to cherry-pick packages, dragging them from the browser onto the elements in the diagram. You can reorder both the model documents and the packages, set template options to filter out elements, perform word substitutions, and more. Generate your publication directly from the master document. You can customize the report title, name, version, status, author, and other report metadata, including the overall template to apply to the publication. With the master document selected, you can initialize the publication by selecting the report generation item available from the Publish ribbon. The model documents will be created in order, and the content will be generated in accordance with the defined templates, resulting in a polished corporate document. You can include standard or dynamic charts on dashboards, and include these in your publications. Select from a range of standard charts, including pie, donut, bar, line, and heat maps. You can also create dynamic charts using the Chart Application Programming Interface, in add-ins or scripts. The feature allows you to define any type of chart you require using JavaScript, either as code or JSON. Modelers can set display options, including legends and colors, to make the charts more appealing and meaningful. Integrate with Microsoft Office tools, and achieve productivity gains by saving hundreds of hours of rework when you evolve from a document-based to a model-based repository, or need to work in both paradigms. The Word Importer imports requirements, use cases, glossary items, processes, classes, connectors, and other data from Word documents into Enterprise Architect, as model elements and relationships. PowerPoint integration provides easy access to model diagrams, imported as images, and elements imported as hyperlinks or lists within presentations. A modeler can import Excel sheets. Conversely, you can export models to a sheet. You can define specifications to match columns, element properties, and tags. View the extended publishing features. In this topic, you will see additional features and facilities of the tool that give you more flexibility to share your ideas and designs with other users and tools. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including insert diagram images to create appeal, instantly save diagrams to a file or the clipboard, generate help systems or user guides, publish to and import from a spreadsheet, and more. Understand connectivity and gaps in your models by using matrices to visualize the relationship between source and target elements or features. Locate scope creep, gaps, and unimplemented requirements by viewing the colored matrix bands. Visualize any element's connections, including drivers, goals, user stories, use cases, test cases, risks, and more. Include the matrix in web pages and publications as an alternative view for non-technical stakeholders, or export it to a spreadsheet or save it for future reference. Appeal to a wider audience with images that will make your diagrams more compelling, and engage both business and system stakeholders, including managers and executives. Use the library of built-in images or create your own library, with industry and project-specific raster or vector-based graphics. Apply these as alternate representations on selected diagrams, or just use them for high-level diagrams that will be included on presentations. Modelers often need to quickly include a diagram or visualization in an external document. Save an image to the clipboard and paste it into your favorite word processing or presentation tool. You can instantly save an open diagram to the clipboard or a file in various formats, including PNG, GIF, JPEG, BMP, or an EMF vector-based type. Using preferences, you can scale the diagrams, choose to set opaque diagram labels, and include diagram frames in images saved to the clipboard or a file. Save the currently open diagram as an image file for reuse, in various raster and vector-based formats, including PNG, GIF, JPEG, bitmap, Targa, or vector-based EMF and SVG file types. You can store the file on a local disk or upload it to a cloud drive. The saved file can then be inserted into any document or content management system such as SharePoint. It can also be imported into an Enterprise Architect repository as an image asset, including the currently open repository. Enterprise and project teams benefit significantly from reusing assets across initiatives. Set up any number of storages and register and import a wide range of modeling content in the cloud-based reusable asset server. Any user with permissions can browse, import, compare and check dependencies. You can also check if any registered content is based on a technology metamodel. You can register almost any content, including a class library, user stories, use cases, requirements, process and data models, baselined content, and text and image files. Author and publish help systems inside Enterprise Architect alongside the products or systems you are developing or describing. You can model sophisticated and flexible help systems that you can publish to HTML, PDF, or docx targets. The Enterprise Architect product help system itself is generated using this technology, and now this feature is available to you. Include topics, tables, diagrams, images, videos, and more. Work with distributed teams of colleagues or customers using the tool's extensive collaboration features. Generate product help systems directly from models in Enterprise Architect. You start by switching to the help authoring perspective, which provides a specialized technology with a toolbox of packages and elements that you use to define your help system content. You can structure your help with topics that act as chapters, and these can be populated with sections, slideshows, videos, diagrams, images, tables, and more. A modeler can define generation templates and cascading style sheets to embellish further the content that is created. You can generate docx or PDF targets or create fully structured HTML that is ready to deploy on a website. Exchange requirements, user stories, risks, and other elements with spreadsheets. By using the CSV Exchange utility, save time and effort by importing existing definitions from spreadsheets, including inbuilt properties such as type, status, and priority, or user-defined properties such as business owner or criticality. Create and reuse your specifications for both import and export of modeling information. Connect standard operating procedures to activities in your process models, making them available to workers following the processes and needing the next level of detail to complete their tasks. Use the convenient Link Documents feature to store a standard operating procedure inside the repository, linked to the selected activity. Alternatively, use the linking facility to connect to a document stored in a document or content management system such as SharePoint or Trim, and launch it from the model or web EA. Get the best of both worlds, and display diagrams and textual representations of the diagram elements simultaneously with the inline specification view. The textual view presents names and notes and provides a mechanism to view the diagram through a different lens. It is a helpful narrative view of the diagram elements. A modeler can, for example, use it to check that all elements have some descriptive text before including the diagram in a publication. It can also be used in conjunction with a diagram in presentation mode to assist an audience in understanding the semantics of the diagram. Instantly reach your audience with web publishing. In this topic, you will see how to publish your models and ideas in real time using browser-based tools, with robust security, making them available to customers and colleagues. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including: publish to the web on any device. View and discuss diagrams in WebEA. Bring your models to life in Prolaborate. Publish to SharePoint, Jira, and Confluence, and more. Publish models and repository content on any device in WebEA, the browser-based tool for viewing Enterprise Architect models. Put your enterprise and projects in your pocket and instantly view real-time models in a browser, no matter where you are. View the models on a notebook, tablet, or smartphone, and create new requirements, elements, and more, adding notes and other details as required. Collaborate with colleagues, consultants, and customers by entering into discussions, chat, reviews, and viewing each other's model additions and changes in real time. Create a model homepage and display this through WebEA, the browser-based visualization tool. Use navigation cells with helpful icons to direct your audience directly to significant diagrams in the model. The cells contain a preview icon that allows the user to view the diagram quickly before launching it. You can use colors, styles, and notes to qualify the cells further. Include text and images such as a welcome heading and company or division logo. You can create any number of navigation diagrams, chaining them together. For example, each project could have a cell on the main page, which could target a diagram for each project with links to requirements, analysis, design, and other diagrams. View models and collaborate with colleagues, consultants, and customers in real time and on any device. Enterprise Architect is built as a collaboration platform from the ground up. The tool equips modelers with a toolbox of collaboration options that makes working together productive and engaging. Chat with each other, discuss critical issues in models and diagrams, review each other's work, send model mail messages, view project events and milestones in the team calendar, work with Kanban boards, and add records of progress in journals. Bring your models to life in Prolaborate and visualize strategic, business, technology, engineering, and scientific system models developed in Enterprise Architect. Collaborate with business and technical stakeholders and share your visions. Create expressive dashboards with charts, graphs, diagrams, tables, and more. Use the tool to publish any repository information in interactive visualizations that will delight your audience and create cohesive project teams. Visualize enterprise and desktop applications and gain powerful and revealing insights into their strategic and tactical importance, complexity, and cost. These expressive diagrams will appeal to business and technical stakeholders who need to manage application portfolios and ensure they provide a return on investment, and demonstrate tangible value to the business. Drill down through multiple dimensions with Sunburst charts that allow you to quickly invert dimensions, such as programs, projects, and strategic, tactical, and obsolete application groups. Unlock the wealth of information in the repository, and serve it to corporate stakeholders and executives in compelling and interactive charts. You can change report settings such as colors and styles to align with your organization's conventions. Survey your capability landscape, and create compelling diagrams that model capability hierarchies, and drill down to reveal the underlying metadata associated with each capability. Integrate your Enterprise Architect models with other platforms, including SharePoint, Jira, ServiceNow, Team Foundation Server, and many more. Set up the integrations with the Pro Cloud Server and then push and pull information to and from the external tools. Collaborate in real time with users of other platforms that support discussions and comments. and share diagrams through a browser using WebEA or Prolaborate. Bring teams together and visualize a wide range of enterprise data from multiple platforms in a single pane of glass. View models in Confluence using the Prolaborate integration to reach team members who view project and team information in Confluence. Getting access to modeled information allows teams to work together seamlessly and without barriers, producing positive customer outcomes. Use the Confluence integration to view any modeled elements, including diagrams, lists, and visualizations. View and edit metadata and participate in discussions with anyone who has a stake in the project, including customers, product owners, consultants, and team members. Bring your models to life with interactive charts and graphs that display the repository information in ways that will delight your stakeholders. Create roadmaps, bubble and sunburst diagrams, heat maps, bar charts, and more. Use the built-in designer to create most charts or use the power of SQL templates to create highly tailored charts. You can include the diagrams in dashboards and view them in Confluence and SharePoint pages when you enable integrations. Many corporate stakeholders prefer matrix views to visualize the relationships between model elements, such as systems delivering a given business capability or process. Create any number of matrices to visualize meaningful relationships, or open an existing enterprise architect matrix and save it as a Prolaborate matrix. You can rotate text to accommodate long names, color code elements, pick which elements to present, and share the matrix. In this presentation, we have covered the following topics. View the flexible and feature-rich publishing facilities. Generate polished publications and reports. Cherry-pick content with custom and virtual documents. View extended publishing features. Instantly reach your audience with web publishing.